Approximately 1,300 Earths would fit inside Jupiter, not beside it, inside it. Jupiter is not a bigger planet. It is an entirely different category of object. And if it were somehow placed on a direct collision course with Earth, the event would not be what you are imagining right now. It would not be a very large explosion. What would actually happen is stranger, more gradual, and in some ways, far more terrifying. Most people imagine the collision as an impact, a moment, a flash, done. The reality is a multi-day sequence of events, starting long before the two planets physically touch and ending with something in our solar system that has never existed before. The reason why will completely change how you see the scale and power of our solar system. To understand the collision, you first have to understand what Jupiter actually is. It is not a rocky world like Earth. It has no solid surface at all. Jupiter is classified as a gas giant, a planet composed primarily of hydrogen and helium in various states. The outermost layers are clouds of gas and ice crystals. Below that, the pressure increases so dramatically that hydrogen behaves not as a gas, but as a liquid. Deeper still, under pressures millions of times greater than anything on Earth's surface, hydrogen enters a state called metallic hydrogen, where it conducts electricity like a metal while remaining fluid. At the very center, there is likely a dense core of heavier elements, but we are still uncertain of its exact composition. You cannot land on Jupiter. There is no surface to land on. You would simply fall through it. Jupiter's mass is so enormous that it plays a critical role in the stability of our entire solar system. Its gravity acts as a shield for the inner planets, capturing or deflecting many asteroids and comets that would otherwise threaten Earth. Scientists estimate that without Jupiter, the rate of major asteroid impacts on Earth over geologic history would have been dramatically higher. Life as we know it may never have had the time to develop. Jupiter is simultaneously the most dangerous thing in our solar system and the reason we are here to think about it. And if it were somehow to collide with Earth, both of those roles would be fulfilled simultaneously. For the purposes of this thought experiment, we set aside how Jupiter would arrive on a collision course. That question is for another day. We focus on the physics of what happens when it does. And to understand the sequence correctly, we need to start not at the moment of contact, but days or weeks before. Because at planetary scales, the most destructive forces began long before two objects physically meet. But to understand why the collision works nothing like you imagine, we first need to understand what gravity does at this scale. The destruction of Earth begins before Jupiter ever touches it. Days or weeks before physical contact, as Jupiter approaches within a critical distance, its gravity would begin exerting what are called tidal forces on Earth. Tidal forces are the difference in gravitational pull between the near side of an object and the far side. The Moon already does this to Earth. It causes the tides in our oceans. But Jupiter's tidal forces at close range would be orders of magnitude stronger. The oceans would begin surging, tides not of meters but of kilometers, walls of water moving across continents. The solid rock of Earth's crust would begin to flex and crack under the gravitational differential. Earthquakes of a magnitude beyond anything in recorded geological history would fracture continents, and Jupiter is still days away. As Jupiter continues to approach, its gravity begins to strip Earth's atmosphere. The upper layers, the thinnest, lightest gases, begin to escape first. The same way a gas leaks from an open container, the lightest atmospheric molecules exceed Earth's escape velocity under Jupiter's gravitational influence and stream away into space. This would not be an instant event. Over hours and days, the sky would change. The blue would fade. The pressure at ground level would drop. Temperature regulation, which depends on the greenhouse effect of our atmosphere, would collapse. The surface temperature would begin swinging wildly. The air itself is leaving before the planets collide. Here is the first moment where the scenario becomes genuinely counterintuitive. Most people imagine the collision as two solid objects hitting each other, but Jupiter has no solid surface. When Earth finally reaches Jupiter, it does not strike something hard. It begins to enter a planet made of compressed gas and liquid. Earth would not shatter Jupiter. It would plunge into it, like dropping a stone into thick fluid. But the stone is an entire planet, and the fluid is a world 318 times more massive. The entry would generate extraordinary temperatures from compression. Earth's outer layers would begin to vaporize and mix with Jupiter's atmosphere before the deeper layers even arrived. As Earth descends through Jupiter's layers, the pressure increases exponentially. At Earth's surface, atmospheric pressure is about 100,000 pascals. Inside Jupiter, pressures exceed millions of atmospheres. At that pressure, rock does not remain solid. Earth's crust, mantle, and even its iron core would be compressed and liquefied, not by heat alone, but by the sheer mechanical pressure of Jupiter's mass pushing from all sides. Earth does not explode inside Jupiter. It is squeezed. The material that made Earth, iron, nickel, silicon, and oxygen, would mix with Jupiter's hydrogen and helium. Earth would dissolve into Jupiter the way a sugar cube dissolves in water, slowly, thoroughly, and completely. From outside the solar system, if you could watch, the collision would produce a spectacular brightening of Jupiter. The energy released by Earth's mass falling into Jupiter's gravity well and converting to heat would be enormous by any human measure. Jupiter's atmosphere would visibly brighten, with the entry zone showing brilliant flashes of light as compressed plasma from Earth's material radiated energy outward. Jupiter's Great Red Spot and other storm systems would be disrupted. New storm features would appear across the planet. But here is the counterintuitive truth. Jupiter would survive essentially intact. A planet 318 times Earth's mass, absorbing one Earth mass of material, increases its mass by less than 0.3%. From Jupiter's perspective, the collision is significant but not catastrophic. Earth simply becomes part of Jupiter, unremarkable in cosmic terms. Here is the detail that almost every version of this story forgets. Earth has a moon. The moon orbits Earth with a mass of about 1.2% of Earth's. When Earth is absorbed into Jupiter, the moon is not absorbed with it. The moon would still be there, now orbiting Jupiter instead of Earth, a small, scarred, airless rock in a completely new gravitational situation. Jupiter's enormous gravitational field and the influence of its existing 4 large moons would perturb the moon's orbit. Over time, the moon's orbit would become increasingly unstable. It might eventually be captured into a stable Jovian orbit. It might be flung out of the solar system entirely, or it might spiral inward and meet the same end as Earth, absorbed into Jupiter. The moon, which has orbited Earth for over 4 billion years, would become an orphan in a dramatically changed solar system. With Earth absorbed into Jupiter, the inner solar system would be fundamentally changed. Mercury and Venus would still orbit the Sun. Mars would still be there, but the gravitational influence that Earth previously exerted on the Mars-Jupiter system would be gone. The asteroid belt, which Earth's gravity helped stabilize over billions of years, would gradually become more chaotic. Asteroids that Earth previously deflected or captured would now travel on uninfluenced paths. The inner solar system would become a significantly more dangerous place for any surviving bodies. And Jupiter itself, slightly larger, slightly more massive, would adjust its orbit minimally. The solar system would continue, just without one of its 8 planets. The material that once made up Earth does not disappear. It cannot. Conservation of mass means every atom of iron, every molecule of water, every element that made up our planet's rock and metal core is now distributed within Jupiter's interior. The iron and nickel of Earth's core would sink toward Jupiter's center under the gas giant's enormous gravity, eventually becoming part of Jupiter's dense central core, either enriching the existing core or becoming a new layer around it. The silicate rock of Earth's mantle would mix through Jupiter's deep layers. The water of our oceans, 300 trillion tons of it, would become part of the hydrogen-rich environment. In a very real and physical sense, Earth still exists, just inside Jupiter, dissolved, unrecognizable, permanent. Here is a fact that reframes everything we have just described. Jupiter is not just a gas giant. It is a failed star. The elements that make up Jupiter, predominantly hydrogen, are the same elements that power stars through nuclear fusion. If Jupiter had been approximately 80 times more massive, the pressure and temperature at its core would have been sufficient to ignite sustained hydrogen fusion. Jupiter would have become a small star, and our solar system would have been a binary star system with 2 suns. It did not reach that threshold. It fell just short. But adding Earth's mass to Jupiter, while enormous in human terms, is not remotely close to giving Jupiter what it needs to become a star. Even consuming an entire planet does not bring Jupiter close to ignition. That is how vast the gap between Jupiter and starhood actually is. Remember at the very start when I said the collision would not be what you were imagining? Here is the complete picture. Earth would not explode against Jupiter. It would not shatter it. Jupiter would not be destroyed. There would be no single catastrophic flash. Instead, Earth would be pulled apart by tidal forces days before contact, stripped of its atmosphere, plunged into a planet made of liquid and gas, compressed and dissolved over hours, and distributed through Jupiter's interior permanently. The process is more like being swallowed than being hit. And Jupiter would continue orbiting the Sun, slightly larger, its clouds slightly disturbed, carrying within it every atom that ever made up our oceans, our mountains, our cities, in our history. Earth would still exist, just in a form that nothing would ever recognize. The quotable takeaway from this thought experiment is this: the conditions that allow us to exist are not robust, they are extraordinarily precise. Earth orbits at exactly the right distance from the Sun. It has a large moon that stabilizes its axial tilt. It has Jupiter in the outer solar system, acting as a gravitational shield. It has a magnetic field that protects it from solar radiation. Remove or alter any one of these factors significantly, and the story of life on this planet either does not start or ends. This thought experiment is not really about destruction. It is about appreciation. Every day that Jupiter remains in its outer orbit, every day that Earth stays in its habitable zone, is a day in a chain of extraordinarily improbable cosmic good fortune that stretches back 4.5 billion years. That chain has never broken. Not once, and you exist because of it. If you made it this far, you are exactly the kind of curious person this channel is built for. You came in thinking about an explosion. You are leaving knowing about tidal forces, atmospheric stripping, the dissolution of a planet inside a gas giant, the fate of the moon, Jupiter as a failed star, and the extraordinary chain of circumstances that keeps you alive on this particular rock. So here's what I want in the comments. Before watching this, what did you imagine would happen? An instant impact? An explosion visible from other stars? Drop your original mental image, and then tell me which part of the real science surprised you most. The next video on this channel is about something much closer to home, something that happened right here on Earth in the last century that permanently and invisibly changed the planet's atmosphere in a way that is still measurable today and that almost no one outside of specialist science knows about. Once you know what it is, you will see it differently every single time the subject comes up. If you want to be the person who understands the hidden science behind the things around you, whether that is in space or in your own kitchen, subscribe. This community is built for exactly that kind of curiosity. That next video is already waiting.